start, I'm going to split my time with Mr. Redekop.
Anytime.
So, Minister, on the Sudan program, it closed as of May 6, 2024. How many applications did the department receive?
That number is in the applications submitted, Mr. Comich, ranges in the 3,600 number. Applications accepted into processing is 2,542, and that includes 5,814 individuals, excluding non-accompanying dependents. We expect that number of expected arrivals to merge into about 7,000 individuals.
Okay. You've announced that the special program, humanitarian program for Gaza, the numbers are increasing. Will you be doing the same with Sudan?
Currently, the programs are different in their nature, one being, in the case of Sudan, aimed towards permanent residency, the other temporary. We'll look at the situation as it evolves. Again, there are challenges within my own department, security partners in actual logistics and getting this done. So these, I believe, are the ones that we have the capacity for in the context, but we have to obviously remain flexible given the conditions on the ground.
So how many of those from Sudan have actually made it to Canada, are physically present in Canada?
Other than the ones that have come as refugees over the course of the past year that I spoke to in French, under this particular program, there have not been. We expect those landings to, we're actually doing our best to hopefully secure some of the landings towards the end of this year.
So out of Sudan, millions have fled the country or are internally displaced. The applications that have been approved by the department, where are these people physically located right now?
They can be located anywhere. They could be in Sudan. They could be in Egypt, or they could have, as you mentioned, fled to third-party countries.
Does the department not know where these people are located right now physically?
When we have the applications, we have their location, yes.
That's, I mean, so you have the information then. You've
going through every location with you, like every application.
Can you provide it to the department? The department provided to the committee?
We could probably provide a breakdown of where those locations are, generally by percentage.
But by percentage or by totals? I would like to know the totals by country.
I gave you the total of applications there.
One person at a time, because I was giving you the opportunity to directly talk. I would intervene. So one person at a time, because it was very hard for interpreters to interpret. So, Mr. Comich, go ahead, please.
I just want to know if the minister will provide the totals, and will definitely provide it to the committee.
Tell us what you want, and we can tell you what we'll give you.
I would like to know the applications that have been received and approved for the Sudan program, and which country are they in physically right now when their application was approved.
We could certainly give you breakdowns of that.
And I'll hand over the rest of my time, Mr. Redekop.
Redekop, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Minister, Section 35(1) of the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act says that a foreigner is inadmissible to Canada if they have violated human or international rights, things like genocide, war crimes, etc. The lead prosecutor for the International Criminal Court has requested that arrest warrants be issued for both the defense and prime ministers of Israel and war crimes. Mr. Chair, Justin Trudeau was asked on Friday last week if the government would support the International Criminal Court, and his answer was, quote, the ICJ's proposals are binding, and we expect everyone to follow them as a matter of international law. So therefore, since the ICJ considers Benjamin Netanyahu a wanted war criminal, can you confirm that he will be arrested in Canada?
Honourable Minister.
I think you know, MP Redekop, that he is not in Canada.
You are the decision maker in this, and I think there's a lot of people that are wanting to know that answer, what Canada considers him to be. The Prime Minister's been very clear that the ICJ's proposals are binding, and so I'd like to know what Canada's position is on that.
Honourable Minister.
I'm not answering a hypothetical question about someone who isn't in Canada, nor should a minister comment on who will or will not be arrested. It's up to the authorities in Canada to apply the law. I don't think you want ministers arresting people.
So, in the U.S., they've made this determination. They've said no, he would not be arrested. Israel has a right to defend themselves. France, on the other hand, has said yes, that he is a war criminal. Are you saying that this has not been discussed? There's been no thought put into this. You haven't been privy to those conversations. Is Canada not on the ball with this? We're not asking this question. We aren't preparing for this.
A conversation as to whether Mr. Netanyahu, in the event he comes to Canada, would or would not be arrested. That's correct.
So you're saying that on this issue that's in the news every day, people are talking about it all around the world, including in Canada. People are asking, this is leading the news in terms of what's going on right now in the war in Israel and the Palestinian war. There have been no discussions in cabinet, in your circles, with the Prime Minister, with anybody about this issue and how Canada would deal with this ruling from the International Court of Justice.
Honourable Minister.
Well, the ruling was issued a couple days ago. There hasn't been a cabinet meeting since then, and I told you I haven't been privy to a discussion specifically about your highly hypothetical question.
How is it that the U.S. has already determined this, France has already determined this? Canada used to be a leader in the world. Apparently now we're not. We always seem to wait till the last minute to make decisions on just about anything. There was a time before this government when Canada was respected in the world with the way that we led, the way that we would show our leadership in the world, and yet this government seems to wait to the last minute to do everything. And this, to me, is another example of a case where there has been no thought put into this. Is that true?
Honourable Minister, the time is up. You can respond briefly, please.
I think the implications that you're suggesting are true, but that was a bit of a rambling statement with the question, is it true? So I don't think I can qualify it anymore. Thanks.
How much time do I have?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. So I wanted to ask you, Minister, in exchange with one of the Liberal MPs, the question was asked about the paying of smugglers and bribes by certain people to get across the border. And you said in your response, I won't condone it, but I understand. Are you aware that under the IRPA Section 36(2)(c), that committing an offense that would be an offense in Canada makes a person ineligible then to obtain a visa, and it's an offense in Canada to pay human traffickers under Criminal Code Section 279. Would those people then be denied a visa to come to Canada?
Honourable Minister.
That isn't the case, no. We would perhaps ask additional questions, but again, you're asking us to hold in judgment people that are trying to stay alive and safe.
So are you saying that Section 36(2)(c) will not apply to anyone who is paying a human smuggling network, a criminal network, to come to Canada, whether from Sudan, Gaza, or anywhere else?
Honourable Minister.
You're making a lot of presumptions about the paying of these amounts and who they went to in various shapes or form. This organization has been described as executive travel services, or in the context of this, quite usurious extortion of people looking to leave a desperate situation. So I think that would depend on the circumstances at hand. But again, would you deny them that right simply because they tried to save their lives by paying some money?
So, Minister, you're speaking of a specific organization. Are you speaking of Hala Tourism and Consulting?
Yes.
I'm speaking more broadly, beyond just this particular organization, because I don't know exactly who they are. They were mentioned in a Toronto Star article that has the title, King of the Crossing, the man selling a way out of Gaza. I'm talking more broadly of all criminal networks. Are you saying that Section 36(2)(c) of the IRPA is in abeyance, like the department will not apply? You're the minister. Are you saying you will not apply this particular section?
Honourable Minister.
I'm not saying that at all. What I said is that I took a particular set of facts that you presented to me, refuted to them, and then you started to generalize about something that has nothing to do necessarily with the case at hand. So I'm just asking you the question.
Well, Minister, you're issuing visas, so that is literally your job. You have a department to help you with that. The IRPA, passed by Parliament, tells you that you cannot issue a visa to someone who has committed a criminal act outside of Canada, just committing the act, not being convicted of the act. You're saying you're not going to apply the law. I'm asking you a legal question. You are the minister responsible for the file. You've shown before in other questioning that you either don't know your file or you're not caught up on your file. So I'm asking you, this particular section of the act, will it apply, yes or no?
Honourable Minister, time is up, and you can respond briefly.
The legal answer is that we follow the IRPA.
Thank you very much.